Hello everyone, what is up? My name is Anna and welcome back to my channel. So today I thought it would be fun if I followed someone's tutorial. So I chose NIKKIETUTORIALS. So I'm going to be following a NIKKIE makeup tutorial today. And she's has like a very glam style of makeup. So I'm interested in what this is going to turn out like. I've definitely done looks inspired by her before, but I've never like sat down and followed one of her tutorials. I probably won't have like basically any of the things she uses, but I'm going to use the thing that is most similar to it. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get into the video. Okay, so I'm watching this on my iPad since I'm filming with my phone. This video is from 2 years ago because she doesn't really have many more recent tutorials. If she did have a more recent tutorial, I would have used it because she would have used her eyeshadow palette, which I have, but she doesn't. So I'm using one from July 31st, 2018. But that's okay because it's still similar to the way she does it now. So, yeah, let's just see what the first step is. I know it's going to be primer, but let's just see.
Alrighty, so I got a bunch of new products in that I want to play with for the face. We all know the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Primer. I've been really liking this lately, so I definitely want to put this on, but I want to mix it with this. There's a brand new makeup brand out there called Flesh, and they sent me a PR package, and this is a primer, and I don't know, it just looks very interesting to me, and I want to see what it does to the skin. So I'm going to be mixing these two together.
So I don't have either of those, and I don't have any matte primers at all. So, like, none at all. Like, I literally only have ones that are titled glowy. I'm just gonna see how these go on and then try to decide, like, which one, if it's more putty-like or if it's more liquid. And then I'm gonna see which one is the similar texture. So I'm just gonna see how these go on.
Hopefully fight the shine and to fill in some pores. So first, I'm gonna use a brush. I'm gonna pop the primer by Fenty on, as well as the Flash one. Oh yeah, oh. And then I'm just dotting it on to...
Okay, yeah, so that looks a little more like a putty, and she says to fill the pores. So I'm gonna use my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Luminous. And since she's using a brush, I'm gonna have to use a brush too. So let's just dip it in here. This is definitely not meant for brush application. But, you know, that's what Nikki's doing, so that's what I gotta do. She's put some here, some here, some here. Okay, some here. I never put primer on with a brush, like pretty much ever. I think I use too much. Look at that. Well, my skin's just gonna be very glowy, which is definitely not what her skin is gonna turn out as, but oh well.
I don't really have a brand new foundation to try, so I want to go in with my favorite Holy Grail, Becca 24-Hour Ultimate Coverage.
So, she's not using the Juvia's Place foundation, but I know she likes that one, so I'm gonna use that one. And she's using a damp sponge, and she's just pressing it all over her face. So I'm gonna go dampen my sponge, and then it'll become bigger. Okay, you ready? See, it's bigger now. Isn't that cool? This is definitely not my shade, but oh well. So I think what she just does, I think she usually puts it on the back of her hand because it doesn't show how she puts it on her sponge. But I think she does this, then I think she just does that. Ooh yeah, I really feel like Nikki now. Really feel like Nikki with the super full coverage foundation and a sponge.
And you always want to apply this in tapping motions. As soon as you start buffing it in or kind of dragging it on, you're going to lose your coverage. And when you are a full coverage addict like I am, you want to preserve all of that coverage. So you tap it on up and down.
Tap, tap,
and
tap.
because you're tapping it up and down, you are saving all that pigment, which in the end makes for less product use.
Okay, so the thing is, I don't usually put my foundation underneath my eyes because that's where my concealer goes, and I find that it cakes up. But I'm doing it today because Nikki's doing it, and I'm putting it over my lips because Nikki's doing it. And I look kind of ridiculous right now. Well, not kind of. I actually look really, really ridiculous right now. I'm going to put some on my chest too, just to make it look like this is actually kind of my shade, because it's not. at all, as you can tell. Okay, Nikki, what's next?
For concealer, I want to dip into the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. I see a lot of people obsessing over this, and personally, I haven't loved it as much as I see other people loving it. So I just want to give it another go to see if I can change my opinions on it or if it will totally blast me away.
I have a concealer like that. The e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer. Everyone loves this. I know it. I personally like the hydrating one much better because this one I think is cakey. But I haven't tried it since I got better at makeup. So I'm going to try it again and see if it's better because I really do want to like it because so many other people do. Oh, I got to see where she puts the concealer on.
And I also want to try the Cake Face Concealer by Beauty Bakery.
Okay, I'm not going to do two concealers. I'm just going to put it on like she did, like this. And she's putting some here too, so I'm going to put some here too. Okay, I'm going to use the other one because my other concealer is a bit brighter than this. So I'm going to get that one too and put it here because that's what she did. So I'm going to use this and I'm going to highlight. Nikki, am I doing it right? Oh my gosh, this is a lot of concealer. Well, I mean, what did I expect? What did I expect? Okay, now I have to blend that in. What side of the blender is she using? Okay, she's using this side. It's the flat side, so I'm gonna use this side too. Okay, that looks a bit better. I still look kind of crazy, but it'll be better eventually. It'll be better eventually.
Okay, I'm quickly gonna set my under eyes using my Fit Me Loose powder by Maybelline.
Okay, the only loose powder I have is $1, so I'm gonna get that one and use that one. And she's using her damp sponge to pick that up, so I'm going to do that also.
Okay, quickly gonna do my brows off camera and let this powder bake for a little, and then I'll be back.
So, I still have to put more powder on. I have to let it bake. I can't press the powder in enough. So then she does her brows off camera. I knew it would come to this. I'm gonna try to do like defined cut brows. She does have another tutorial of this on her channel. I don't know quite exactly how she does it, but they're definitely very defined and she definitely cuts them with concealer. So I'm gonna do that and then I'll be back. So I did my brows, boom, boom. I think they look decent. They look fine. I think they're definitely not twins, but they're sisters. So that's good. Let's see what she does next now.
Priming my eyelids using the P. Louise base.
I have no P. Louise base, but I will use concealer. And I will use my 16-Hour Camo Concealer, non-hydrating one. So, because I think that'll have less creases than the hydrating one. And I know she uses a tiny dry sponge for this. I don't really have a small one, but I'm going to use this. And I think she's also brushed off her bake, so I'm just going to do that too. Okay, I have all the colors she's going to use for eyeshadow, so let's just see what she does.
And dipping into the yellow called Lemon Drop. And with this, I'm going to define the inner part of my crease. Picking that up on a Morphe M506, my favorite precise blending brush, and go to town. At first I kind of stamp the color onto my base to get maximum color payoff. And then as soon as the color's on there, I'm going to buff out my edges.
Okay, I was originally going to use the yellow from her palette, but I realized it's not the correct color. So I'm going to use the color Crepe from the Summer and Saint Tropez palette by BH Cosmetics. And I have no small defining brush, so I'm just going to use my big defining brush. Okay, so I'm just going to do that on both eyes and then I'll be back.
On another Morphe M506, I'm dipping into the hot pink, which is called Party Drip. And with the brush, I'm first stamping that color onto the outer corner of my lid as well as my crease, and then slowly but softly start blending that out.
Okay, so for that hot pink, I'm going to use Sizzle again from this palette.
Then going in with that neon coral called Splash, and this is going as a transition between the yellow and the pink. So I just picked that color up on the tip of my brush, and using those soft circular motions again, I'm just gonna sort of wiggle it in between the yellow and the pink. Very soft, almost no pressure on the brush, and that is gonna get that transition going for you.
Okay, this is more of a neon coral, so I'm going to use that for that color. This is the Blend and Snap color in NIKKIETUTORIALS palette. Okay, this look is coming along and I love it so far.
Now picking up the pink again on the Cosette S185 and placing it flat onto the skin and sort of making waving motions. So the movement that you make when you wave your hand, that kind of motion you want to do to really buff out that edge to perfection.
So I definitely don't have a small brush like that, so I guess I'll just use this brush again. I really should get small blending brushes. So, the pink is way higher than everything else. I'm just gonna add a little bit of height to the other ones too, because the pink's like way up to my eyebrow and then the other colors are not. So I'm just going to add a little height to those.
Okay, once you're happy with the blend, it's time to cut the lid, and for this I'm using the P. Louise base again and picking that up on an Inglot 22 T brush and stamping the base on to carve it out.
Okay, so I do not have that small of a brush, but I do have a brush similar in shape to it, so I'm going to use this one. And again, since I don't have the P. Louise base, I'm just going to be using my concealer. I just realized I do have a brush very similar to that in size, so I'm going to continue to use this one.
And to get rid of this harsh edge with the base here, you just kind of want to tap at it and the brush will do the work for you. Now quickly with a bone colored shadow, also by Colored Rain, I'm setting that concealer.
Okay, so now we have to take a bone colored shadow. I'm gonna use Basic Fruit from her palette. Okay, and she said to get rid of this line you just had to tap your brush there, but that didn't really work for me, so I'm just gonna go back in with that bright pink shade and I'm just going to place that there. Okay, I'm gonna do the other eye like this and then I'm gonna come back. Okay, so she didn't show herself powdering her whole face, but she usually does, and I think I need to powder my whole face too because this foundation is not my shade. So I'm just gonna do that. Call this cheating if you want, but I'm gonna do it. Also, I have to go somewhere today and I don't want all this to be ruined by wearing a mask. Okay, I'm gonna let all that bake and then I'm going to see what the next step on the eyes is.
Taking a dive into this peach color called Crushin' and taking a small blending brush and applying it flat onto the lid again and using tapping motions, I blur the line of the bone and the pink.
I gotta find a peach color. I don't know if I have one, but I'm gonna find one. Okay, so the closest color I have to this is Villa in the BH Cosmetics Summer in St. Tropez palette. So I'm just gonna use that. And then I think what she's doing is just using that to bridge the hot pink and the cut crease. Okay, what's next?
On an Inglot 13P brush, I'm picking up the pink and placing it on the lower lash line towards the outer corner. Then following towards the middle of the lower lash line using the neon coral. And then you guessed it, dipping into the yellow and continuing that. But I leave a slither of skin open to put white liner over top later on. Now going in with my white liner.
Whoa. Okay, slow down there. So I'm going to use this brush here. It's the shade brush in the EcoTools 4-brush set. But before I do that, I'm going to wipe away all my powder.
Now going in with my white liner to define that inner corner. Taking this Stila Gold Goddess Magnificent Eye Metal and I'm defining the corner of my cut crease with this and just stamping it along the line of that cut crease.
I have white liner. Okay, I've never done this before. Let me watch the master. Okay, now let's try this. I'm scared. Okay, I did it. I did it. Now, I have to do more detail work. Yay. This is fine though. This is fine. I actually have what I need for this. Silver glitter. Okay, and then what she's doing is she's using a brush for this and putting it in the cut crease. Okay, let me just watch this all to make sure I'm doing it right. Okay, yes. So this is what I'm doing. Let's just do this, I guess. I'm scared. I've never done this before. Well, this is all about trying new things, right? And trying different techniques. That's what I'm doing, so that's good. Okay, that actually looks kind of good, and I did that like super quick. So, yeah. Okay, look at that eye. Whoa. Okay, look at that. It's gorgeous, and I'm very, very proud of myself. This weird quirk I've tried to suppress or hide is a talent that could. Okay, now she's gonna put a nice thick layer of something on. I'm assuming it's mascara, but let me check.
I'm applying a thick, fat winged liner.
Oh no. Oh no. No. I don't want to mess it up. I'll do it. And I'm gonna do it good. And it's supposed to be thick, so if it gets too thick, that's fine. Okay? I'm just gonna do it. So this doesn't look nearly as good as hers, and they're definitely not the best. And I feel like they kind of ruined the look. A little bit, maybe, but nothing can ruin this look, because I'm too proud of it. Actually, 1 second. I'm gonna do something, and I'm gonna try to fix it a bit. Oh, it's always scary when I do this. I should probably just stop. Okay, that actually made it look a little bit better. It still looks kind of bad, but it's not terrible. So I guess let's just keep going and see what she does next.
And for lashes, I'm using Lily Lashes in Caramel.
See, I don't have lashes, but I do have mascara that almost looks like lashes, so I'm gonna use that. I feel like I should maybe put more yellow on. I feel like it's not bright enough. I'm gonna do that.
And now we bronze. So using stippling motions, I'm gonna apply the bronzer onto my cheekbones and get it on there.
Okay, that's actually much better. Much, much better. Okay, so now she's bronzing. She didn't say what bronzer she used, so I'm just going to use my normal. And that is the e.l.f. Blush and Bronzer Dew in the shade Fiji. So I don't have a type of brush that she's using, so I'm just going to use my regular bronzer brush. She's also putting some on her nose, so I'm going to do that too. She never put bronzer on her forehead. Well, it looks like she did, so I'm going to do it. She just never said she was doing it. And I never saw her do it. Okay, well now I gotta do contour. I'm just gonna use my BH Cosmetics Studio Pro Shade and Define 10 color contour palette. You don't know how long it took me to film this video and how long it's gonna take me to edit this. It's gonna take me a while. Okay, that's good. Now blush.
From a Morphe blush trio, I'm taking this color right here and mixing it with that middle shade. And these are called Boss and Fierce.
Oh, she cut out her, wait, what? Oh, she contoured her nose. Well, I'm gonna do that too then. I'm going to do the blush. Yes, blush. So she's taking like a lighter peachy blush and then a darker hot pink blush, and I think I have those. Okay, so I don't really have a peachy blush. I'm just gonna take a mix of Villa and a mix of this blush from my e.l.f. blush palette, and I'm gonna use those for blush. Okay, it looks like she brushed off the bake too, so I'm gonna do that. And then she's going to use highlighter. Let's see.
For highlighter, I have this Flesh highlighter in the color Boost, and it's looking a little bit more like a glossy skin sheen.
Okay, I kind of have a highlighter like that. It's the Essence Pure Nude highlighter. It's not nearly as bright as that one.
And then using Ofra Star Island as like a really pop of highlighter on the cheeks.
Okay, I'm gonna use the Moonlight Pearls for the pop. This is from e.l.f., the baked highlighter. Okay, it also looks like she put a little bit of highlighter right here, so I'm gonna also... Okay, the lips. What color is she using for lips? Okay, so essentially, Dose of Colors collaborated with someone, and then she's gonna use nude and a nude gloss. Do I have a nude like that? Let me check. Okay, so I don't have like a bullet lipstick or a liquid lipstick or anything like that, but I do have this Lip Esteem sample. It's the I Promise color, and it looks very similar. So I'm gonna use this on the lips. This color is so pretty. Oh, she put lip liner on too. I guess I'll do that too. And for the lip liner, I'm gonna use the Lip Esteem lip liner in the shade Curry. And then I don't have like a nude colored gloss, but I do have a gloss, so I'm just gonna put that on. Okay, got it on. Now let's see what's next. Okay, so the last step is setting spray.
And that, guys, completes this colorful summer transformation. I
Done.
am living for the color. I am living for this eye shape. I am living for the drama, honey. It just felt so good to just sit down and play with makeup again after doing so many challenges. Don't get me wrong, I freaking adore.
Okay, we're done with the video now. I'm done! Okay, let's do a side by side. I think I did pretty good. And this was really fun to get out of my comfort zone, do something new. I definitely think I could have done the eyeliner better, but everything else, I'm really proud of myself. And you know, it's almost summer, so it's nice to get into that with some eyeshadow. Yeah, this was really fun, and I think I'll do it again. Maybe not with NIKKIETUTORIALS, but definitely with another person. So I really hope you enjoyed watching this. If you did, please give it a like and maybe think about subscribing. It would mean a lot, and it would make me very, very happy. I also have an Instagram. It is annaxbeauty. Please go check it out. I post reels on there. I post polls for what you'd like to see on YouTube, makeup looks I don't do on YouTube, and other stuff. So please go follow me on there. Bye! I have no P. Louise brace. I have no P. Louise brace. I said brace again. Oh, by the way, my lip is bleeding and I don't know why. Oh my gosh, that took too long. That took forever. Like, how much footage do I have? I have a lot of footage.